Let's go.
Let's do this.
We got a special solutionary for you.
Let's brew.
Let's brew.
What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
It's Fred Leonard, subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car
That's
Guy
right.
Coffee podcast. And we are excited to be brewing with you today. So do us a favor and tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal.
And
share.
share.
Get it out there.
Let's
Come on.
go.
We have a solutionary in the building. Lou and I, obviously, we can see we're off location right now. We're somewhere else. We're in Coldwater, Michigan. We're up here visiting some good friends. We're literally in bed. But here's the great news. I made it before I did it, right? So that's what I do every morning. Even in a hotel, you can ask Lou, I'll make my bed. It may not be the perfect made, but I always make my bed. It's just something I do. But listen, we are here. We're super excited. We're pumped up about today's show. This is a guest that we have had the pleasure to meet, and somebody that has a resume that will just make your mind go, wow, right? And she's a woman in this industry that's doing amazing things, shining a light to the community that she's part of, the dealership that she's doing, and helping people inside those communities grow. And man, I tell you, it's much more than just her local community too. It's broad, and she's doing things for the whole state of Alabama, right? What I love watching her do her thing. So let's make this happen, bro.
Let's get this rocking and rolling. We're going to keep making sure that you all know where to get the rest of the brews from, and keep going to carguycoffee.com.
That's right.
If you want to hear more of the solutionaries that have been brewing with us over the past few years, it's been an incredible journey with some great quality poured out with these 5-liners and all the other episodes that we've been having. Make sure you do go to carguycoffee.com. If you need some swag, go to carguycoffee.com. And if you need some coffee, go to carguycoffee.com. And if you want to find out more about how to support the brew, well, go to Car Guy Coffee and check out that sponsorship page and find out about those incredible solutionaries that are making things happen in the industry. But in our quest to brew with the best, we found this solutionary that is ready to get on deck and brew solutions with you today. Hopefully you got this shared around. We got a few people that are joining in. Hello over there, Shelly. So glad that you're in here.
Good morning to you.
Brew it. Let's
Shelly
do it.
over there at Agora Data. Let's go.
Go.
We're excited. Keep getting people in here. Let's keep sharing this great news, because we have a lot of great news to talk about today, but I cannot wait to pull this solutionary on the screen. Like I said, she's somebody that's doing amazing things in her community, and so much further. Her outreach is getting there. We want to keep getting that outreach further. So we're looking forward to hearing her story, knowing her why, her purpose, her drive, all those things. She is an amazing woman in automotive that we all should learn more about. I can't wait for you all to see and meet her here in a few seconds. But man, I'm going to tell you, the resume is thick, so get ready for all this great accolades that we'll be talking about today. So you ready, Lou?
Stuff. All right, so we're going to wake up upstairs, next door, the other next door, maybe below, but everybody's going to know that inside of the cafe today is the one, the only Jennifer Harlow. Let's go. Welcome to the party.
Hey, guys.
What's happening? How are you? Welcome to the show.
Well, welcome. Thank you. We're great here in Arab, Alabama. It's beautiful. The sun's shining, so it's terrific today.
No doubt. Yeah. Gotta love that. Is ARAB, is that further south than Alabama?
No, we're in the north part of Alabama. We're closer to Tennessee.
So you got, and you still got that good weather going on for you. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. How's the weather for you guys?
It's well up here in Michigan. It's cold.
It's kind of cold.
Yeah.
It's called cold water for a reason.
Yeah. There you go.
But back in Kentucky in our home, I think that there's mild conditions right now, like 50s, 60s, around that range right now. So it's nice. I can't complain too much. But definitely in Alabama, y'all got it a little bit further south, so you could hear it in your voice, right? So we love it. Welcome to Alabama, right?
Got that southern accent.
Yeah, it's a blessing right there. I see.
I can barely hear the accent.
Yeah. Okay. So you barely hear his too, right? So I see you got some guitars back there. Not to get too far up subject. What are those?
Yes, I do. Those are. Let me move over and let you see them. I don't know if you can see them or not.
Oh, I can. They're beautiful.
Yeah, those are my Brett Michael guitars. I'm a Brett Michaels girl with Poison, so
come on,
that's kind of where I like to be.
I'm just saying.
Right.
Look what the cat. Look what the cat dragged in. You know what I'm saying? Let's
exactly.
I love Poison too. Poison brings back memories for me with my brother. Just being young, we were great fans. You know, of course, just listening to that album over and over. And I remember us going in our own yard, putting up a tent, and just listening to Poison all night long in our yard, blasting it. I'm sure our neighbors were like, "What the heck are these kids doing?" You know, it was the good old days. They didn't really care with us kids messing around, right?
Yes, most definitely.
You know, well, that's amazing if you have those in there. That's phenomenal. So that is great. So what we do is we always kick every show off with the 3 Fs. And these 3 Fs, as you can see them on my shirt right here, it's forgive, focus, apply. These are 3 F bombs that don't offend the moms. And so if there's a little dance move to it, kind of like a secret handshake to join a club, you're going to wipe off the weight of unforgiveness. You're going to focus on where you want to go, and you're going to fly to all the places that you've ever wanted to be. And we're just going to keep growing. So let's do it together. Let's put our hands on the Let's get this thing. Oh, Lou's got the music. There we go.
Ready for that.
On the count of 3.
Music.
You ready?
Let's get it going.
1. Hands on the shoulders.
Hands on the shoulders.
2, 3. Forgive. Focus. Fly.
And
rolling. That's right.
Now we're ready for
You are in the club. You are ready to do this. We do this thing called the 5-liner. And the 5-liner is 5 questions that we ask everyone that we get on the show. It kind of gives a history of where you come from, what you're about, where you're trying to go. Oh, I can't wait to hear this. And the very first question we ask Jennifer is your why. What drives you? What is the purpose? What makes you get up every day to be the best version of Jennifer?
I get up every day just to be the best version so that I can help others. That is my why. You know, we can be in the car business for a lot of reasons. It can be money. It can be anything else. But to really be in a buy here, pay here business, it's got to be about your why. You've got to be able to help other people. You've got to understand other people. And that's just my why. I get up every day to see what I can do to help somebody else.
That's amazing. That's
absolutely awesome. Love that. I absolutely love that. And that's just the automotive side of it, you know, and I know that you're helping people in a lot of other things, but you're right. And being in the BHPH dealership, you know, that is a place that if you do it right, you really are serving your community. If you do it right, people love you forever. They become advocates of everything that you do. And I know that's what your plan is at the dealership. I know that's what's happening. That's the culture of it. And I think that's amazing. So I applaud you for that. Thank you for sharing that. So Lou,
you have to have a heart for the people.
That's it,
to do what it is that you're doing, to deal with the frustrations that people deal with, and to deal with the frustration of sometimes being able to help people that don't recognize how much it takes for them to get the help that you're offering.
That's 100%.
You have to be dedicated to taking them to the next level and doing it joyfully, doing it in a way that you truly get more value out of the help than you do just enjoying the deal. And that's what we're trying to do, is cultivate cultures and see the cultures out there that are finding people like you. People need to know that there's incredible owners, operators, managers that are out there that truly, truly, truly care about helping them, not taking a deal, not taking advantage of. And the type of automotive has been shifting and starting to highlight more and more of those people.
That's right.
That are truly about helping the community, being real pillars of the community, to be able to make sure that not just the transportation needs of the community get taken care of, but the physical, the wellness, the whatever the causes are in the community. Dealers often carry the brunt on their shoulders because they want to help the community. They truly love them. And you are a living, breathing thriving example of that, and we do honor you for that. And that's, again, why we have you on the show, because we love you.
Thank you so much.
Ruin. With that, though, Jennifer, what is it that brought you to the automotive industry?
That would go back 25 years ago. My dad actually got me into the automotive industry. I have this saying: my dad got me into the automotive industry, but my late husband kept me in the automotive industry. He brought a few cars home. We got our dealer license. I decided real quick that I loved selling cars, loved dealing with people. Fast forward a few more years, I met my late husband, Don Gant, and he said, come to work for me. I have a buy here, pay here lot. I've just opened it. Come to work. And I kind of laughed. I was like, I don't know about all that. I just do my own thing. And he's like, no, just try it. And I walked in and I said, well, I'm only going to stay just a few months, just until you can get some help. And never left. Loved it. Loved the people, loved the community, the atmosphere. I loved it. Fell in love. And so next month I celebrate 25 years here. A lot's changed in 25 years. I started out in just a little bitty one-room building, selling 3 or 4 cars a month, and now we're about 50 cars a month, and we've got a 24,000 square foot building. So it's been a big change through the years.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is massive, and that's huge. And what I honestly, and I'm probably going to be right on this, is that's not the end of it for you. There's more, and you're looking. Yeah, I already know that. I can see it in your smile. You're like, there's more tricks up the sleeve. Trust and believe.
Yeah.
We're 25 plus years in this, but guess what? We got some other things that are going to be coming around. Wait till you see what these next 25 look like. Oh, that's right. The legacy, right? I can't wait to see that. That's amazing. Your story is phenomenal. Your father, then your late husband. You built some things, and you built it into what it is today. And it's like I said, it's not the end of it all, and I'm excited to see that.
Yes, we are too. We are too. And, we don't know where we're going to end. We don't know where it's going to take us, but I just know that we're going to enjoy the journey. We're going to help as many people as we can and just keep doing what we do. Doing what we love.
Right. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy.
That's right. That's right.
If it was going to come up, it'd be boring.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. And we don't do boring. Not like that.
I had a good friend, Glenn Lundy, come to me on my shoulder one day and just said, hey, man, you know where you think you're going to be in a year? It's nothing like what you think. It's going to be completely different. It's okay.
That's
enjoy it. They said, just enjoy it. Right. So it's truth, though. We may have plans, and great, some plans come to fruition, but it's not really the idea of hitting a target. It's just going towards a target, right? Constantly moving and growing and being more every single day. I mentioned, Glenn Lundy, because Glenn Lundy is, I consider, one of my mentors. I have a lot of mentors. I can look into whether I'm, Jesus Christ, great mentor, right? You also have you have so many that you go into. I have my friend Lou. I have, Glenn Lundy, my friend Matt Damos, that I've been my mentor since day one in automotive. I have so many that I lean into, and I get education from, but inspiration, motivation, and sometimes just a nudge saying, hey, stop doing that, right? You can do better, right? And it's good to have people like that around us along your journey as you've been coming up in this industry. I know you mentioned your late husband. You also mentioned your father. Who have been some mentors for you?
It would have to be my late husband, probably more than anything. Since he's passed away, I would say probably my husband now. He is my biggest cheerleader.
Right on.
I've got a really good GM, and she has been by my side for 17 years. So I couldn't do what I do without her.
Wow.
Yeah, she is my right-hand girl. So those are definitely my mentors. They're my, what you would call your gatekeepers. No matter what, they're always there. They've always got a reason and a why and a way to make things happen. I'm a big dreamer, but it takes them to be the doers behind it. So
hey, I love that. And I had a pleasure of meeting your husband, and when we were at the Buy Here Pay Here Summit, and he had come and grabbed me. He said, hey, come meet my wife, right? And that's that's how awesome he is. Like, he's all about you. He's like, hey, I want her to have the experiences that she deserves. I want it to be that way. And I only got to meet him for a few moments. I can't wait to get to know him some more in the future, but he's definitely got a great heart. You could sense it. You could tell he likes to have a good time, but he enjoys what you're doing. He likes really highlighting you. And I think that's great to have somebody like that on your side. That's a life partner that's like, hey, whatever you need, I got you back. And that's good person to have in your life. That's for sure.
You have to have someone that believes in you, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we do. We run into times where we don't believe in ourselves.
That's right.
And the people that do love us most love the things that we don't see. Love the things that we don't pay attention to. And sometimes it takes those people calling that out of our life in order for us to be able to keep moving forward. But nobody walks as confidently or as joyful as somebody that knows that they're loved.
That's right.
And when you can operate inside of that type of a lifestyle, it just makes everything so much more valuable. And we say that in a way to not just say, oh man, it's worth it. Because sometimes you go through things and you're like, man, I don't know if that was worth it. I probably could have learned this lesson a different way, right? Especially when we find out where it is that we are in the walks that we have inside of our life, whether they're great victories or they're somewhat defeats. But with that, having those mentors, having those people in your life that can continuously poke you with the real you, with the reminder of how powerful you are, how strong you can be, and what it is that you can accomplish. We're so blessed to have these people in our lives, especially when the going gets a bit tough, when things get a little bit challenging. And so for Jennifer, we know that you make a lot of things happen inside of this industry. From the dealer side, you're making things happen, you're cooking things up, and that has its bleed over into other people that get the chance to pull from some of your expertise, some of your wisdom. But on this 5-liner, we love to get some of the high quality that's in each brew that we bean that we brew with. But with you, what has been one of, if not the hardest challenge that you've had to deal with, the hardest lesson you've had to learn inside of your 25-year career so far?
Goodness, y'all should have gave me a briefer on these questions. I'll have to think.
Okay.
The hardest challenge that I've had to deal with, probably through the years, I would say, is just keeping the right people. You have to surround yourself with the right people at all times. And, one bad apple can ruin everything. So you have to really, really focus on that and focus on who you want to surround yourself with, who you want to be with. Keep that as a reminder, because you are who you run with, you are who you hang out with. And you just kind of have to take that all into perspective and just know that those are your people, and you got to keep your circle small and depend on them. You got to have people that you can really, really depend on. And that's getting harder and harder these days.
And that's
preach it.
You are preaching. That's it. That is a great point to bring up. I think you're one of the first people who've said that on the show when we asked that question. But I do agree 100%. It is hard. It is today to find people.
Yes. It's
hard. So when you get them, love on them, right? Make sure you let them
give
them the appreciation that they deserve, and make sure they get the fair wage that they deserve. It is in today's market. Employment's a little tricky, getting people that commit to an opportunity. A lot of times they kind of put one foot in and they just like, well, there might be this over here. I get it. I'm not going to really dog them much. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own way of doing stuff. But, I felt like the generations before were more committed. Like when they did something, they did it. They showed up 15 minutes early. They stayed till it was time to leave, right? They didn't complain. They worked. Not that people didn't complain and not that people didn't show up late. I'm not saying that, but the percentages were bigger, and it seems like it's dwindling. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Maybe it's just the real, and we recognizes real now, and it's just becoming more apparent. But at the end of the day, when you have them, love them. It's just love the ones you're with, and if they got your back, and you could trust them, and they're doing everything they can to constantly better themselves, then keep educating and keep encouraging and empowering them.
Yes.
It's going to be the best thing that you can make happen. You'll turn them into the general managers for 17 years as you go by, right? And that's a long time. Exactly. I want to go back to that for a moment, because we hear in automotive about all the turnover, the churn in management and leadership, and then of course when it comes to your sales pros, that's like really high churn these days. When you have somebody that can be literally a cornerstone in the building, that's been there, seen everything in the last 17 years in this automotive industry, which has been this industry doesn't change much. Well, that's a falsified, right? What? We all know it changes.
Yeah.
It's every week, every month, to include bank programs, whatever you're in, whether you're buy your pay or your retail, whatever it is, there's a change in the market. There's a change in the way things go. There's a change in the customer's mindset, right? So we have to understand that we have to adapt. So 17 years with you, there's no doubt she's an adaptable person who's been able to change and make shifts. And I love that you said that she's one of your mentors. I love that.
Yes, she is.
I agree. I agree that there's people that I have worked for and people that have worked for me that have been mentors both ways, right? Like I'm like, whoa, you just taught me something massive here. Thank you for being here for me, right? And it becomes, as a general manager for you and owner, that's like a partnership. You know, that's a, hey,
Yes.
lean on you, you lean on me, and we'll make this work. So that's great. That's a great lesson to be learned, is to make sure that you deal with people that way. I love that.
And you do it out of a posture that keeps love at the forefront and honor at the core.
That's it.
And that's something that, of course, we want to believe is happening at all dealerships all over the place. We already understand that that's not quite the case, but there are champions like you that are raising up, that are bringing honor to the forefront and allowing that to actually be what helps you handpick the people that you're close to. Because yes, being connected to the wrong people is not going to do anything but really drain you, right? Because we get into these spots where, man, we got this person with us, but they keep draining our resources. They keep draining our mental health, right? We're trying to pour out good stuff to them, and they're either just not taking it, they're not picking it up. And that has been something that I think a lot of dealers dealt with. I mean, they even deal with it today. I mean, so much. There's a person that's sitting at the store that, man, they have a lot of time in service, but they're not necessarily putting a lot in that time that they're with you. They're collecting checks. They're not necessarily being contributors to the cause. And inside of that, there's that tension of, well, do I let them go? Do I get them out of here and get freed and get released? And what do we often hear? Car guys, car gals, those that are listening on the live or on the replay, what often happens when that person gets out of the camp? Isn't there like this relief that everybody has, this tension that everybody just lets go of? Like, so why didn't we do this sooner? And then all of a sudden, it's like that week we sell a bunch of cars or something. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, something happens that says, see what happens when we get some of the wrong people out of the boat. You know what I mean? If they're rowing in the wrong direction, well, let's let them keep rowing in the direction they want to go in, but we commit to going where we want to go. And sometimes you got to remove those from it, just as much as you have to be patient when bringing in the right people. You know, when you take your time to find the right people. I mean, consider how many humans there are, not just in your state or in your town or in the nation or in the world, but you're only really looking for a select few to really do life with.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's such a small minority of the population that you're looking for, and you got to give yourself the room for the one to find you. And then when you do that, it's like, oh, wow, great. Where were you all my life? You were finding me. I was finding you. We were finding each other, and now we're here. And that's something that so many leaders do find themselves in, is like, okay, I have this idea for a business. I know how to do business, but now it's, oh man, I have to have the right people to do it with. And so often it is a challenge to make sure that we do sift through those that are part of us and those that aren't. You know, they're either of you or they're not. And that process can be taxing, but it's often so worth, especially when you find the ones that are ready to run through the fire with you. That's awesome. That's a great lesson to point out. Heck yeah. Moving that on, before we get to the last question in the 5-liner, tell us a little bit about what's fresh with you. What's popping off? What's new inside of the scope and the vision for 2023? What are some of the things that you're excited about, whether it's the events you're going to be a part of or some of the contributions you're doing? What is it that's brewing with you?
Well, I have a 501c3 that we started back in 2016. In 2018, we actually won the Barbara G. Cox Automotive Community Service Award. A&D Motors did, and we opened up the Parkside Outreach Program. Food pantry, we just kind of service our community. We're kind of low poverty right there. So we have been helping the school system out with their back to school bash. And we are working right now currently on providing all these students in the Parkside Middle School school supplies for the year. So we'll actually bring them in. We'll give them all their school supplies. We give them a new pair of shoes, haircuts, backpacks, things like that. So that's a big deal in our community coming up in July. So we're excited for that. We started actually preparing now, getting all this stuff together. So that's big doings in our little world right here. So we've been busy trying to get that done.
I love it. Big doings in our little world. I love it.
I love it too. I love it. You know, you definitely Alabama, but that right there is what it's about. You know, the more we give, and it's not necessarily about the more we get. It's just the more we give, the better we feel. The more we give, the more that others will. The more that we give, the more that the world becomes giving. You know, and that's the thing. It's not, you know, people need this. People need somebody every once in a while to show them a light, turn on the light for
Yes.
them, to look at them and let them know that I love you and I care about you. I may never met you, but I actually love you with all my heart. And I want you to have everything, whatever I can do. And that's the thing, you know, it's whatever we can do. A lot of times we have time and we just forget. A lot of times we do other things and then we could have done this, you know, and that's okay. You know, that's why Lou and I, our mantra is forgive, focus, fly. Because no matter what we did yesterday, it's done. What we did a minute ago is over with. It's all about what we do right now. And you can let all that not doing the wrong things, let it go. It's over. Wipe it off. This way you can focus on what you want to do, right? And that's what's going on. You're focusing on your community. You're doing things. You're helping people. That pantry, I'm telling you, is bringing light to a lot, right? But it's also shedding a light to others who can do things like that. They're going to be inspired to do similar things out there in your community. So keep doing stuff like that. Friends, folks, all you solutionaries out there watching this, take note. Make sure that if you have those moments, go out and volunteer your time. A lot of people think it's money. It's not just money. It's your time. Your time is more valuable than any dollar you have. If you go out and you put some time in with people and just have a conversation with somebody that's in need, you'd be surprised on how far that goes. So go out and be that. I love that. This is a great example of what solutionaries are about right here. That's awesome. So with the outreach, I also know that you're part of the Alabama Independent Automotive Dealer Association. Tell everybody your role there.
I'm the vice president this year, and I'm actually over new membership. We have got our Perdido Beach coming up July the 19th through the 23rd, which is our convention. And so we've got a lot of continuing education, things like that coming on. So we've got some pretty big stuff happening in Alabama too.
Yes.
Randy Jones is he's our director, Randy Jones, and he is phenomenal. I tell you, he's a go-getter if I've ever seen one. So we're blessed to have him, but we've got some big stuff coming on in Alabama. So we're hoping to do some great things.
Oh, you are. You're currently doing great things, but you're just going to continue it. And I love that. I love what you're talking about here. Folks, if you're in Alabama, you're an independent dealer and you're watching this and you're not part of the IADA there, go reach into them. Because what I tell you, when you become part of the state, you become part of the national. So just go become a member. You get the education. And there's a lot of free information, free ideas, free things for you to get that you dealers need, to include the way the laws are changing. Listen, we got to be compliant. So all this stuff is in there. They have people that are in Washington making sure you guys are taken care of. So get on ball, learn what you need to learn, but be part of it. It's a very minimal annual fee to get you annual growth. So get after it. It's like the best ROI you can have. And to me, as an independent dealer, it puts you in, makes you feel like you're one of the franchise stores getting, backed by something. Now you have a group of people that are very similar to you doing similar things that you can all lean onto each other. So that's awesome. Vice President. That's what I'm talking about. Just doing some big things out there in Alabama.
That's right.
Yeah, folks, be looking. You might see the Car Guy Coffee podcast there at that event. So be looking for that. We'll be announcing stuff like that as we go. But we're excited. That's really, really amazing news right there. I know there's a lot of other things that you do in your business, outside of your business, what you do with your community. You're on the board of a lot of different things. What would you say outside of automotive is one of your favorite things to be part of?
I would say probably just with the outreach. That is my passion. I love selling cars, but I think my calling is just to help other people. I enjoy it. You've got to give back, and it's a good feeling whenever you can reach out and help someone. Brett Michaels always said to reach out and help someone, it's a good day, but to reach out and help many, it's a good life. And so that's kind of words I go by.
Come on.
That's amazing words to go by. I absolutely agree with that. You do that every day at your dealership too.
Yes,
it doesn't,
we do.
It's customers may get jaded and it's a transaction, sure. But what you're doing is you're changing lives. You're making out.
Sure. You're not just selling cars, you're selling dreams also.
Amen.
Dreams and driveways.
You are. You do.
Right.
You're helping them achieve goals that they never thought they could, and you're showing them how. And that's important. That's great.
Speaking of seeing accomplishments, I think we got another question for you on this 5-liner, don't we, Fred?
We do.
Okay.
This question, it's an amazing question. We've talked about your why. We've got into that, your drive. We talked about what brought you in this industry. We talked about your mentors. We talked about, lessons learned. I love that. We've talked about this. Then we got into a little bit about what's going on in your life, the outreach and what's cooking with you, right? The last question I have for you is, what's been your greatest reward for all the work you've put together so far?
I think just to look back and see all the people that we've been able to help.
Amen.
Sure, the big building's nice. the lifestyle's good, but to reach out and actually see that we can help other people, that's been the biggest thing. You know, we're into the third generation now, just since I've been here. And it's just amazing when people come back in and they say, you know, you sold my grandpa a car, or, you know, my mom and dad, or whatever. It makes me feel old, but it makes me feel good too.
Absolutely,
Amen.
absolutely.
Amen. You know, I know that feeling when you hear that. Yeah, my grandpa bought, you like, wow, I've been doing this for a while. You know?
Yeah.
But you know, this industry's been going on for over 100 years. So you know, it's as long as we've been doing it, we've been a big part of it. There's still so much more to go. And you're right. I love that though. I love that you have third generations coming in now buying vehicles from you. That is a testament of being part of the community. People know who you are. That they feel comfortable that their families all buy vehicles from you. That is big, folks. If you're not doing that with your clients, you're not building a pipeline of repeat business and referrals, you're missing the boat here. There's great opportunity in that. And, you know, I guarantee Jennifer can show you the way on that. She's been doing it for a long time. There's a reason why her dealership's been open for that long also, just so y'all know. It's not, dealerships don't last long when they don't have a good reputation. That's for sure.
That's true. That's true.
Tied from the front to the back, she has connected people as being the sole motivator, her why, and then the greatest reward it is that she has is the effect that she gets to have on the people. And you can hear it thumping like a loud drum that is calling others to join inside of this cadence call to raise up the people around you, raise up your community. The message to grow your business, you have to grow your people, cannot be more loud than it is right now. And solutionaries like Jennifer and many, many, many others out there are making sure that this is a very clear message to the industry, to communities, that it's so important that we do build up our right people, build our people the right way. No manager, no leader ever wants to be charged with taking somebody to where it is that they want to go.
That's right.
And not see them achieve it. That's a mark on us when we take on the responsibility to lead somebody someplace. And we want to be able to rest knowing that we've given them all of our heart, all of our energy, all of our talents, all of our skills, anytime that we have them. And Jennifer, you're a shining example of somebody that's laying their life and pouring it out so that others can rise up and find themselves in it. And we do honor that. For those that are looking at automotive, they should look at more people like you to see how hopeful this industry is for people that are trying to find their way and find somebody to help them go that way. There needs to be more mentors like you, Jennifer. We honor you, and we're so thankful that you took the time to be with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you know, before we get out of here, I do want to ask you one question. You know, we haven't done this in a while. That we do this thing called the Car Guy Confession Session. I'm gonna call this the Car Gal Confession Session.
Okay.
I would love for you to tell a story about something that was funny that's happened in the last 25 years. Maybe a one that you learned a lesson from, something that you messed up, something that you like, let me do this. Or maybe you saw somebody do something that was hilarious. You know, we in this industry, there's a lot of crazy things that happen. We see a lot of crazy things go down. Our customers are different every single day. I know you have a story. So what's a good Car Gal confession session?
Goodness, let's see. Well, I guess one of the, I don't know, memorable stories I would have had, we decided we were going to take off to Florida to a concert, of course, you know, because that's what I do. And so I loaded up a couple of the girls here at the car lot. And I said, well, come on, y'all can go with me. And we've got to pick up this car, which was about 150 miles from the concert in South Florida. And I said, so we're going to drive down. We're going to go repo this car. And we're going to go on and just drive the car and go into the concert. And they were like, you've lost your mind. That's like 12 hours. I said, it's okay. Do you know where we're going? No, there was no such thing as GPSs back then, you know, because remember, I'm old. So we take off and we drive 12 hours and we find the car that no other repo person can find in Plant City, Florida. And so we repo the car out of the yard. We take off. We drive another 3 hours, go to a concert and drive it back home. That was probably the most memorable thing that we had done. And the car made it, by the way.
That is OG classic story right there. I love that. Think about that, my friends. She's so right. Today, we could ask a repo company to go try to find a vehicle. They have all the technology they need. They have the trackers. They have multiple things, and yet they can't get the vehicle. But you drove hours away from where you were, basically with just probably a paper map. Right?
Yes,
Got all on this street. That's the way I learned to travel, was always with map. I'd map out my plan, and this is how I get there. I knew my exits. I knew all that stuff before. I had to be pay attention to what I was doing. That is an amazing story. And you were able to get that pull it off the yard, take that car,
Yes.
go to the concert,
Yes.
and have a good time. That is a story that you will never
awesome.
forget. There's no doubt you could ever forget something like
Oh,
that. 'Cause
no.
That doesn't happen every day.
She TO'd the repo guy.
That's it.
Love
She-
it. Love it. And you can't get a hold of the customer. Give me the phone.
Give me
and
the
I get
phone.
a hold of the customer. Right.
Let me show you how to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Car, I'll drive the 10 hours to go find this car, and I got it, and we're going to the concert.
And we're going to go have a good time doing it because we are that
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, that's a great flex.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, if you weren't before, or you didn't think you were before, or if anybody else didn't think you were before, with that story added on to all of the other incredible elements that we've pulled out during this 5-liner, we got to let the whole world know that Jennifer Harlow is 100% CGC approved. That's right. That's right. Now y'all know. And with that, before we head out of here, we got to make sure that we do drop those F-bombs again and get everybody encouraged. But before they do that, Jennifer, how do people get a hold of you? How do people find out more about what you're doing and what it is that you're brewing?
I would love for anyone to reach out to me on Facebook. I'm under Jennifer Harlow. You can call me 586-256-586-CASH. Instant message me, whatever. I would love to speak with you. If there's anything I can ever do to help you, reach out to me. I would love to talk with you.
Absolutely. And for anyone out there that feels weird about getting direct contact, reach out to me. I'll get you connected. We'll get you connected on the side. But that's my friend right there. I know Jennifer. So let's go. I got her number.
Definitely.
So what's up? Right. So that being said, listen, she's an amazing person. She's growing fast. Her dealerships are doing amazing things. All you all out there, reach out to her, inspire. For you who are watching this on the replay, go in there and just put some nice comments. Tell her hello. She's amazing, isn't she? I think that she's somebody that we all can learn a lot from. And one thing I love about Jennifer is she's willing to learn from you too. So get out there and share ideas, my friends. If you're in Alabama, like I said, go to that convention, go out and meet her, get to know her, get to know everybody in that state, because there's amazing dealers all over, up and down that state doing amazing things. They are going to have a big year. Jennifer, you're an amazing person. Thank you for being with us today. Let's go get Focus Fly and let's get out of
Let's
here.
rock this out. All right, Jennifer, you know the
All right,
moves.
let's do it. I know it.
Moves on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus. Fly.
And keep growing. Keep growing.
That's right, everybody. This has been an incredible 5-liner. We are so thankful that you took the time with us today. I am Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And I'm Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And you've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast with the one,
the only
Jennifer Harlow. That's right, everybody. Have an incredible day. We will see you soon. Keep brewing. We're out.
Go.